Hey guys and girls, we're going to explain how you can change your actuator today. I ended up removing mine because eventually that little trick completely failed. So mine was on the right rear. There are quite a few tutorials out there on YouTube on how to remove your, of course the car's locked, how to remove the door panel. So I'm not going to go over that. You can find something on YouTube. There are some plastic tools you can use to keep things from breaking. There's a good chance that something will still break. So while I'm here, I'll show you. So these are the bolts here for the actuator that hold it in. And there's this little plastic cover here. That has to come off. And mine's still off on this side. So I'll show you that. So once you have the door panel off, there's the missing cover on this side. There's a screw in the top on mine, and you're gonna back that out all the way. It's not a screw that comes out all the way. You just back it off all the way and it won't turn any further. Then you're gonna give it a slight turn back in the forward position clockwise and then push it in. So this is what it's actually attached to, is the door handle. So once you have the panel off, and then there's an access panel you'll have to pry off on the door as well, and that gives you access to get your hand up there and remove all the connections. But what I found was the easiest thing to do was to remove the door handle first. So I have a spare one here. So what you're actually going to do, mine has the sensor, so when you put your hand on the door it'll lock, unlock. You may not have that, so you don't have to worry then about a connection, and this spare one does not have that. But if you do have that, there's a cable here that you're going to have to unclip. Pretty straightforward. Once you have that unclipped, what you want to do is you want to, like I'm saying, you back that, screw it all the way, then you're going to give it just like a slight turn back in, and then it will, and you push on it, you'll hear a bit of a click. And what that will do is that will release this this piece will come out first. Sometimes these plastic covers come off as well. That allows you access to remove the door handle. So what you're going to do for that is then, this is not clipped in properly, you're just going to slide the door handle towards you, and then it's gonna slide out. So just like that, towards you and out. So that's the equivalent, like I said. That top piece there, you're gonna back it out, turn it slightly back in, grab the door handle, pull it towards you, and then you're going to swing it out, and that will release that. And if you had that connection here, that wire would be still connected if you didn't disconnect it. So that's what you do first. You just reach up there, use a flashlight, any sort of lighting that you can allow you to see a little better, because it's pretty dark. But once you have that out, in this spot here, there's a little screw. Make sure you don't lose it, because it's pretty specific to this. You're going to take that screw out, and essentially that's the only thing that holds this piece in. And you'll see on this side, the flip side, the inside that attaches to, there's a couple little points here where it'll attach to the door itself. So when you're putting it back on, that has to line up, and then you'll feel it click in. And, if it's kind of jiggling around like this, it's not in there properly. So then that will line up. Once you get that in there and secure, you can put that little bolt back in. It's pretty straightforward. It's not difficult. You'll know when it's in, and you'll know when it's not. But once, the whole idea for removing this first was, when this was out, that allowed easier access for the actuator, because it's pretty tight in there. So when the actuator is in the car, okay, it's situated like this. And there's those two bolts that I was talking about. So it's situated like that. I just then remove these bolts and let the whole thing fall, because then it's easier to disconnect this cable. And the clip that attaches to is on the inside. That's where it's going to attach. Okay, so it's just a lot easier when this is down, more at your knee level to get it out. So then you're going to unclip that, and there are 2 points where there's a cable. I mean, it's pretty straightforward stuff when it comes to how a door operates. It's just mechanical, and this is just an electric assist. So here is this is the cable. This one's not exactly specific to my car, so, but everything in theory is the same. This one is a used one out of a Porsche Macan. So what you're going to do is to, when you unclip this cable does not have to come, this portion here does not have to come out. We just want to unclip it from the actuator that you're replacing, and to do that you're going to need pliers, because I was a little too tough on mine because I ended up snapping this. But this piece here, you see there's like a section in there that's got a line, an opening there. That's not where it ends. It's this piece all the way at the bottom here. It clips in. So you're just going to take some pliers and hold this with my other hand. And then you just want to twist up toward you. Okay, so once that's twisted up, there's this little ball end. That's what's clicking into there. But so you're just then popping that up, and then you gotta twist it to get that out. So when you put the new one back in, you're just doing the same thing. You're taking this piece, lining it up into there. It only goes in one way. You can't force it in that way. It has to be straight up still. And then you're taking that piece, turning it, and you'll hear it click in. Just as easy as that. And there's another one on this side. I don't have the matching one for it, but it's the same thing. You can see how the same type of plastic. You're just going to slide it in there. It clips in, and then here's where the other end that I just demonstrated anchors to. So you're sliding in there, running it up there, and this one here is for the inside door handle. So same thing. You're just disconnecting it from the actuator, not from the door handle. You can just leave that dangle, then just reach for it, reclip it to there, lock it in place there. Same thing on the exterior. This is for the door handle. Okay, same thing. So this is then running up, and it's attaching. Like I said, this is for a Porsche Macan. You're running that up, and you're attaching it here. Okay, then when you have that all attached again, it's not exactly reverse was the easiest way. The best way to put it back together was to actually attach this piece first. Like I said, have it latch on, put that screw back in. Okay, then put the bolts for the actuator, fish it up back in for the actuator, and then the end step, you can put the door handle back on and slide this in. Done. Any questions, then just send me a message, and I'm sure I can figure it out for you, because I've been messing with this for quite a while. But it I'm sure saves hundreds of bucks to take it into a dealership to have this done. Okay, let me know.